Today's lesson is Curry, a Global Love Story. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
I am Roger.
And today we will be looking at curry. Well, we're starting our two-day look at curry, and it feels fitting that we have 2 days for this wonderful dish that has started in India. It became quickly a popular favorite of the English people, British people who settled in India. And since then, it has traveled all around the world. It is spicy. It is mild. It can be sweet if you buy it in Japan. And it is just one of those warm dishes that almost everyone seems to like in some form or another. And the other nice thing about curry is you can use almost anything to make it. So it's also a great pantry cleaner dish, we might call that. A pantry dish, meaning something you can make without even shopping. Just go home, see what you have in the pantry, in your food storage, and you can probably whip yourself up a delicious curry.
Indeed, curry is a worldwide kind of food, and of course we think of India when we think of curry, but as you said, other countries have their own recipes for curry, as we have here in Taiwan, but it's a global love story. Everybody around the world loves curry, so let's find out what curry is all about. Let's listen to the first part right now.
Curry, a global love story. Curry is one of the world's most cherished dishes. It combines special spices, vegetables, and sometimes meat or fish to make a delicious and hearty meal. But curry isn't just rich in taste, it also has a rich history. The dish is believed to have originated over 3,000 years ago in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. Over time, it spread to other parts of the world, and now many countries have adopted curry as their own.
大家好，第一部分介绍形容词 hearty， 这个单字尤其是指食物丰盛的或是大量的意思。例如 A hearty lunch will give us the energy to work in the afternoon. 丰盛的午餐可以让我们精力充沛的在下午工作。或者 Many runners like to fill up on hearty foods the day before they run a race. 许多跑者喜欢在比赛前一天吃饱饭。再来看到动词 originate，指起源或是来自于。例如 Researchers are trying to find out where the virus originated from. 研究人员正试图找出这个病毒是源自哪里。或是 The river by our cabin originates from up in the mountains. 我们小屋旁的那条河源头来自那山上。
Okay, the first part of our lesson begins by saying curry is one of the world's most cherished dishes. Now, if something's cherished, it is greatly loved. Okay, the verb is to cherish. I really cherish our time together. I really love it. I really appreciate it. It's really great. So, of course, this is a kind of food, a dish that is known all over the world, and people just love it in all four corners of the globe.
Exactly right. We could also say it's one of the world's most beloved dishes in the same kind of way. Why? Well, here are a few reasons. It says that curry, of course, combines special spices, vegetables, and sometimes meat or fish to make a delicious and hearty meal. Yeah, there you go. That's a pretty good one-sentence description of both what a curry is and also partly why it's so popular. You have special spices in there to give it that wonderful flavor. And, of course, you can change those spices and have different flavors to make different types of curry. Throw in some vegetables, maybe some meat or fish, as I said, whatever you have at home. And it's also very vegetarian friendly. And you can make a delicious and hearty meal. Another good selling point of curry, apart from the fact that it is delicious or very tasty, it's hearty. And if we describe a food as hearty, we just kind of mean it's rather filling. So you can have a curry maybe with some rice on the side or eat it with some lovely Indian naan bread or something, and with very little else, you can have yourself a full meal, a filling meal, or a hearty meal.
Yes, it's satisfying and it fills you up, and you don't need to eat for quite some time after that. But curry isn't just rich in taste, it also has a rich history. Now, if something has a very noticeable flavor, we say it's very rich, like chocolate cake can be very rich. It has a lot of flavor. It's very sweet. And, of course, curry is not only rich in taste, it's also rich in history, which means it has a history that's very interesting, which we're going to look at. The dish dish is believed to have originated over 3,000 years ago in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so that's where we believe it came from. We're not really 100% sure. It's believed to have come from or originated over 3,000 years ago in the Indian subcontinent. And in this sentence, we have the word originate, which just means to come from. Like, where did pizza originate from?
Exactly right. People would probably tell you that pizza originated from Naples or maybe nearby Rome. And of course, curry originates in the Indian subcontinent, but it has traveled far and wide since then. It says over time, it's spread to other parts of the world. And now many countries have adopted curry as their own. Absolutely. No one can keep a good food down or a good food idea once people try it. They love it. They want to bring it back home with them, adapt it to their local flavors, their local tastes, and their local ingredients. So they've adopted curry as their own. When you adopt, you kind of take something that is sort of from outside of you and you make it your own. One of the most obvious things we could think of here is adopting a child or adopting a pet. If you're not the parent of that child, if you bring that child or that animal into your home, you adopt it. We can also talk about adopting good habits. I've adopted the habit of going to the gym every morning before work or something. So you kind of take on something and make it your own, make it part of who you are. So many countries have taken curry and made it part of their own local cuisine, kind of like well-known Japanese curry, which I think a lot of people would agree is quite different from Indian curry, but delicious in and of itself. All right, let's take a quick break here. We're going to get back to the article after we hear the second part, which will explain all about the name curry. The word curry comes from the Tamil word kari, which means sauce. The British, who ruled India from the 19th to the mid-20th century, loved the various sauce-based dishes there and brought the concept of curry back to the UK. Through trade, it spread from there to Japan, among other places.
第二部分看到名词 concept， 它的意思是概念，也可以是观念或是想法的意思。例如 I understood the concept after Will explained it to me. 在 Will 向我解释后，我就懂了那个概念。也可以说 I always have trouble understanding complex scientific concepts. 我总是难以理解复杂的科学观念。
Okay, in the second part of our lesson, we are going to talk about where the word curry originates from. The word curry comes from the Tamil word kari, which means sauce. That makes a lot of sense.
Interesting. Okay, so kari became curry once the British started to eat it, especially, it says the British, who ruled India from the 19th century to the mid-20th century, loved the various sauce-based dishes there and brought the concept of curry back to the UK. Yes, the British had a very long and colorful stay, I guess you could say. Well, they ruled India earlier on with the East India Company, and then, of course, the British Crown, the Raj, the sort of British Empire in India, started from the 19th to the mid-20th century, and they loved the various sauce-based dishes there. I think a lot of people have said that chicken tikka masala, which is sort of an Anglo-Indian dish, could be considered the British national dish alongside fish and chips. So British Indian food has been very popular with British people for many years, many decades, growing into centuries. So they brought the concept or the idea of curry back to the UK. I think, in fact, one of the first cookbooks ever printed by an Indian person was someone who had moved to the UK, opened some successful Indian restaurants, largely serving food to British people, white people who had lived in India for a long time. They retired, moved back to the UK, missed the food, and there was this Indian cook and entrepreneur, and he was one of the first people to make Indian food from restaurants popular. And then the concept of curry, the idea of curry, just making curry, using these spices, using whatever you have around, and of course adapting it to what is available locally, that quickly caught on in the UK. And then it says through trade, it spread from there to Japan, among other places. Of course, the British, being a great trading nation at this time, had their navy and their ships traveling to all the corners of the world, bringing British goods, buying local goods, and also bringing along their food culture. I think I heard that it was the Japanese Navy which really admired the British Navy for being the most powerful at the time, some of the Japanese sailors, while sort of training on British ships, tried this curry that these English sailors were enjoying, loved it, and then brought that back to Japan with them.
Absolutely. Although one place it seems that curry has not spread to is the U.S. Okay, as an American, I don't remember seeing a lot of Indian restaurants in the U.S., which is a pity because there are a lot of people from India who immigrate to the U.S., and it seems they don't open restaurants as much as they run motels. Most of the motels in the U.S. are run by people from India. I wish they'd open more restaurants. It would be pretty tasty, but I guess Americans don't really appreciate the taste of curry. But people in Japan seem to like it, as do people here in Taiwan as well. And, of course, in the UK, they love their curry as well. Do they have a lot of Indian restaurants in Canada, Mike?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We have a very large population of immigrants from India. At least in the big cities, curry is pretty easy to find.
Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson for today. Let's go on and talk about curry and how it's good for you.
Besides being tasty, curry is also healthy. It is commonly made with spices like turmeric, cumin, and coriander, which are known for their health benefits. For example, turmeric contains curcumin, a substance that reduces inflammation in the body and improves heart health. Many curries also include garlic and ginger, which are good for the immune system. Furthermore, the vegetables in many curries supply the body with vitamins and fiber, essential elements that make curry a wholesome meal.
第三部分介绍名词 ginger， 表示姜或是生姜。我们可以说 Angela likes to flavor her tea with ginger. Angela 喜欢用生姜调味她的茶。又或者说 Audrey added a small amount of ginger to the soup. Audrey 在汤中加入了少量的生姜。接着看到 immune 这个形容词，指对疾病免疫的、有免疫力的或是不受影响的。例如 Getting plenty of sleep helps support your body's immune system. 充足的睡眠有助于支持你的身体免疫系统。再看一个例子 Citrus fruits are good for your immune system. 柑橘类水果对你的免疫系统有益。继续介绍副词 furthermore， 指的是此外或是而且。举例来说 Debbie is an excellent worker. Furthermore, she is a great mom. Debbie 是个优秀的员工，此外她还是个好妈妈。又或者说 Ted is often late to class. Furthermore, he never completes his homework. Ted 上课经常迟到，此外他从没把功课写完。后面看到名词 fiber， 表示食物纤维。例如 Vegetables are a great source of dietary fiber. 蔬菜是膳食纤维很好的来源。也可以说 Whole grain bread, beans, and nuts are excellent sources of fiber. 全麦面包、豆类和坚果都是很棒的纤维来源。最后看到 wholesome 这个单字，它是形容词，表示食物有益健康的或是有益身心的。我们可以说 Whole grain wheat bread is more wholesome than white bread. 全麦面包比白面包更健康。最后一个例子 My mom taught me to live a wholesome life and always do the right thing. 我妈妈要我过健康的生活，并且永远做正确的事。
Okay, so of course, curry is tasty. When you eat it, you think it's really great to eat. It's very tasty. It has a lot of flavor. It's very savory. And besides being tasty, curry is also healthy. You could also say healthful, but healthy is the word we use nowadays to describe food that is good for you. It's nutritious. It doesn't make you fat. It doesn't clog your arteries or give you heart disease or things like that. It's actually very good for you.
Absolutely. So let's find out exactly what it is doing while also being delicious. It says it is commonly made with spices like turmeric, cumin, and coriander, which are known for their health benefits. Wow, that's good news. I always knew them for being tasty spices that you can put in your food, but if they have health benefits, if they're healthy for your body, even better. Turmeric is that famously sort of very orangey kind of spice. Often you use it for its very earthy flavor and also for that wonderful yellowish orangish color. I've definitely heard that turmeric is good for you. Cumin, we often associate cumin with sort of Mongolian dishes or dishes dishes from Western China, Xinjiang. That wonderful cumin flavor. You often eat it with lamb or mutton, but you can enjoy that spice with lots of things. And coriander, also known as cilantro in its plant form. Coriander is what we would maybe call the seeds a little bit more often, but often these words are interchangeable. A lot of people do have a love-hate thing with coriander, right? Some people love it, some people hate it. I think sometimes just with your genetics, you're born either liking or disliking this, but it's used in a lot of Indian dishes and Thai dishes, and also dishes more local to Taiwan and China. So all these three herbs and spices are wonderful because they're tasty and they also are very healthy for you. Let's find out exactly what the spices is doing good for your body.
Yeah, how is it nutritious? How is it healthy? Well, for example, turmeric contains curcumin, a substance that reduces inflammation in the body and improves heart health.
Fantastic.
Inflammation means things just kind of get bigger inside your body, inflammation, and that can cause lots of problems, lots of health problems, and we want to reduce inflammation. We don't want things to be so inflamed. And yes, we've got curcumin in turmeric, and that kind of reduces inflammation in the body. And it's also good for your heart.
I'm guessing maybe since cumin has a similar name to curcumin, that active ingredient, cumin might also do good things. Yeah, inflammation is probably especially a problem for older people, right? Arthritis, when you have pain in your joints and your body when you move. So have some turmeric or maybe some cumin, that could help. And there are some other good things apart from those spices we mentioned. Many curries also include garlic and ginger, which are good for the immune system. Yeah, absolutely. If you know, Chinese food has a lot of garlic and gingers. These are some of the basic flavors that we really enjoy. Often you'll cook the meat and then cook some garlic and ginger, combine the meat with that warmed garlic and ginger, and you have a delicious dish. Ginger, this is a root plant that we often eat the root form of. You can have ginger flowers, I believe, but most of us, we will eat the root. And yes, it has many good benefits to it. You can have ginger tea, which I know helps settle the stomach. Ginger can also be relaxing. It's a little bit spicy, but it has that wonderful flavor. And it can be used both in something savory. You can have ginger with your meat or chicken. And of course, you can make ginger cookies and cakes and breads and things like that. Ginger and garlic are both good for the immune system. The immune system is your body's defenses, the white blood cells that fight off bacteria and viruses and diseases and things like that. That whole defense network that your body has to fight off things, to give you fevers, to, burn out things in your system. That's all part of your immune system, your body's defenses.
Yeah, back to ginger here, of course. It is, as you said, a root plant that a lot of people use in tea, but it also describes someone who has red hair. So, yes, indeed, these curries contain those things, and they're good for the immune system, so you can keep those diseases away. Furthermore, or in addition, also, the vegetables in many curries supply the body with vitamins and fiber, essential elements that make curry a wholesome meal. So yes, we're talking about the vegetables in many curries. Of course, they add the spices, but they also add vegetables to the curry, and those, of course, are nutritious as well. They supply the body with other nutrients like vitamins and fiber. Okay, fiber is xianwei. It's kind of a fibrous, sort of stringy-like substance that goes in the body, and it's usually not digested by the body, but I guess it helps clean the body out, so fiber should be a part of your daily diet. And again, these vitamins and these minerals and fiber are essential elements, important things that make curry a wholesome meal. So, of course, if you enjoy curry and you just enjoy the taste, well, remember, it's also very good for you. So don't feel guilty if you have a meal of curry. You might be thinking, oh, I'm on a diet. I want to lose weight. I'm too fat. Maybe I shouldn't eat curry. Maybe it's not good for you. But no, it actually is good for you. And, of course, here in Taiwan, you can have curry served in many ways. Of course, we have Japanese-style curry in Japanese restaurants. And, of course, there are many Indian restaurants in Taiwan that serve the best kind of curry, at least for me. I like curry in Indian food. It is oh so tasty.
It is indeed. And actually, as the article pointed out there, with all of these good health benefits coming from so many elements in the food, you can really kind of customize it for whatever little health condition or health issue you might be worrying about. If you need more protein, you can put more of the meat and chicken and things in there. If you don't like to eat that, fish of course, is very good. A white fish in a curry is good. And fiber, yeah, we get fiber, as you mentioned, from many types of vegetables. A lot of types of fruits, especially the skin of the fruit, like the skin of the apple, will have fiber. And another thing that you often find in curry, things like beans, chickpeas, and other types of beans. Those are also very, very high in fiber, which is very good for your gastrointestinal system, for your sort of stomach and other areas. So yeah, you can absolutely have the healthiest curry you can think of, and it will also be delicious, and it will also probably have other health benefits you don't even know about it in, as it says, a wholesome, hearty, filling, and healthy meal. Sounds like a pretty good dish. I'm off to have a bowl for lunch.
It does sound good, but hold your horses, everybody. Before you head out to your local restaurant and have a curry dish, we need to hear from Hanny right now.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第3部分第2句有写到 It is commonly made with spices like turmeric, cumin, and coriander, which are known for their health benefits. 咖喱通常由姜黄、孜然和香菜等等的香料制成，这些香料以其健康益处而闻名。那这边有2个重点，首先我们来整理一下表达由什么制成的用法。第一个我们可以用 be made of， 它是用来说明构成的材质原料，你从成品外观看得出它的制作原料。像 lots of toys are made of plastic， 许多玩具是塑胶制的。第二个我们可以用 be made from， 这是用来说明产品的来源，你从成品外观看不出原料，或者是说从制作原料到成品，它的本质已经改变了。像 the wine is made from organic grapes， 这种酒是用有机葡萄制成的。第3个我们可以用 be made with， 是用来说明所含的原料成分。那这个句型并没有强调制作过程，通常只是在说明它的食材原料是什么，这就像课文的用法。好，那也补充一下 make A out of B 是指用 B 做成 A， 那它的被动句型A be made out of B 常常用来强调说 B 它被改变被转变成 A 了。例如 The scarf is made out of an old dress， 这条围巾是用一件旧的洋装做成的。好，那接着我们看到句子里面 which are known for their health benefits， which 是用来代指前面提到的那些香料，所以这个关系子句是在补充说明这些香料以其健康益处而闻名。好，那么注意一下句子里面 known 它可以表达已知的、知名的。那我们就来整理一下相关的句型。第一个用 be known for， 它是指以某个特色、特质或成就闻名，后面可以接名词或动名词。例如 The durian is known for its spiky skin， 榴莲以其尖刺的外皮而闻名。那第二个可以用 be known as， 这时候是表达以什么而为人所知，这通常是说以可能是名称身份等等而为人所知，或者是被称作什么什么。as 后面接的名词常常是身份、职业、称号等等。例如 The durian is known as the king of fruits， 榴莲被称为水果之王。好，那么第3个我们可以用 be known to 加上原形动词来表达以知会做某事，以做某事出名。例如 The durian is known to emit a strong smell， 众所周知榴莲会散发强烈的气味。好，那么以上今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Cherish. Timothy cherishes the letters he received from his best friend. Adopt. After moving to Japan, Amy quickly adopted the local customs. Concept. Professor Duncan explained the complex concept in simple terms that everyone could understand. Ginger. Abigail added some ginger to the soup for extra flavor. Immune. A strong immune system helps protect the body from illness. Furthermore. The project is already behind schedule. Furthermore, it's over budget. Fiber. Strawberries contain a lot of fiber, which makes them a great choice for a healthy breakfast.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I am Mike.
See you next time.